Hello everyone, we are from group who will be explaining about the physical assessment about the bronchopneumonia, and our members of the group are Apri, Agnes, and Raya. Now let's talk about the definition. Acute inflammation of the walls of the smaller bronchi and bronchioles and the ejection alveoli that result in the formation of exudate, often distributes in scattered patchy areas throughout the lungs. In children, it's a common and serious form of a lower respiratory tract infection. The etiology is cases of bacteria who was called Streptococcus pneumoniae, H. influenzae virus, fungi, or maybe an aspiration. The risk of factors is age, especially infants and toddlers, malnutrition, crowded living condition, and lack of immunization. The general goal is to collect comprehensive objective data, focusing on respiratory and circulatory status to form the basis of nursing diagnosis and intervention. The specific goals of physical assessment. The first, assess patient respiratory and oxygenation status to determine the adequacy of gas exchange. Focus on respiratory tract, assess about the tachypnea because it's a critical early sign in children. Also, checks for cyanosis. Second, detect sign of respiratory distress to gauge the severity of the illness. Look for retraction. Subcosal, intercostal, suprasternal. Nasal flaring and grunting is common in infants. Also check about the head bobbing. Identify pulmonary abnormalities. This is primarily done through auscultation. For advantages sound like crackles or rails and maybe wheezing. Evaluate patient response to therapy to adjust treatment based on objective findings and compare current assessment data. Now the preparation. Through preparation ensures the assessment is efficient, accurate, and minimizes distress for the child. The first one, the environment. Ensure a warm room to prevent chilling, as this can increase oxygen demand and cause artifacts. Example is shivering. Maintain a quiet environment to facilitate accurate auscultation. Ensure adequate lighting to observe skin color, movement, and subtle signs of distress, and provide a privacy. The equipment. The equipment are the first, the stethoscope with both bell and diaphragm sized appropriately for a child, pulse oximeter with a pediatric probe, thermometer appropriate type for age, speak manometer with appropriately sized pediatric cuffs, watch with a second hand for counting respiratory rate and heart rate, and the last, pen light for examine the throat or a mucosa. The next one, the patient. Gain trust. Approach the child gently. Allow them to touch the equipment if appropriate. And then for the explanation, please use honest language appropriate for the child's development stage. For the example, I am going to listen to your breathing like a doctor using a special earphone. The next one is positioning. Infants or toddler may be assessed while sitting on the parent's lap. This promotes comfort and cooperation. For the older child, can sit at the edge of the bed or exam table. The priority, assess the most disturbing procedures. The procedures last, for example, checking ear or throat. Auscultation, especially of the lungs, should be done while the child is calm or sleeping. That is for infants. To get the most accurate breath sounds, observe first or inspect before touching the child.
Okay, next I will explain about the sequence of assessment. For the first is inspection, general condition of the patient. Child looks weak, irritable, or refuse to eat or play. Breathing pattern, rapid, shallow breathing with nasal flaring or chest retraction, chest wall movement, asymmetrical, affected side may move less, skin and lip color or maybe cyanosis, pale or bluish lips or tongues, central cyanosis, and last is cough and sputum characteristics. Periodic cough, sputum may be yellow or yellow-green. Next is palpitation. For the palpitation is first is chest expansion, decreases on the infected side. Second is tactile tremors, may increase over consolidation, less reliable in infants, and last is skin temperature and tenderness. Local warmth or mild tenderness possible. The third is percussion. Percussion sound over lungs areas. Dull sound heard over the consolidated lung due to fluid or tissue density. Comparison of right and left sides. Dullness more prominent on the affected sides. And the last is auscultation. Type of breath sounds. Bronchial or bronchovesicular sounds heard over consolidation. Additional sounds. Fine crackles, rails are common. Wheezing or ronchi may appear if secretions are present. Okay, for the next is vital sign assessment. Is for the first is body temperature. Fever between 38 until 40 degrees Celsius is typical. Second is respiratory rate, more than 16 time per minute in infants more than 2 months, more than 50 times per minute in 2 until 12 months, and more than 40 times per minute in 1 until 5 years. Third is pulse rate, usually elevated tachycardia due to fever or distress, increased tachycardia. Fourth is blood pressure, normal or low in severe infection or sepsis. And the last is oxygen saturation, or usually called SpO2, may fall below 19.5%, indicating hypoxemia and the need for oxygen therapy. Okay, supporting examinations. For the first is chest X-ray, shows patchy or lobar consolidation, especially in lower lobes. Second is complete blood count. Leukocytosis increases with white blood cells, often found in bacterial pneumonia. Third is sputum or nasopharyngeal culture, identifies the causative organism and guides antibiotic selection. For the uh, fourth, arterial blood gas, or usually called ABG, reveals low PaO2 and sometimes elevated PaCO2 in several cases, and the last is lung ultrasound, useful bedside tool to detect consolidation or pleural effusion, highly sensitive in children.
Interpretation of finding in bronchopneumonia in infants. The relationship between physical examination result and bronchopneumonia. The first one is in infants. Physical examination may reveal signs such as abnormal breathing sounds, indicating inflammation and infection in the bronchioles and alveoli. And the sign of respiratory distress, such as the rapid breathing, respiratory muscle contraction, and cyanosis indicate breathing difficulties due to the bronchopneumonia. And for the indication of the consolidation or gas exchange disorders, the first one is consolidation may be suspected if breath sounds disappear or decrease, and there are additional sounds such as the results in the certain area of the infant lungs. And gas exchange disorders in infants are indicated by low oxygen saturation and signs of hypoxemia such as cyanosis and the lips fingertips. So for the documentation, how to record examination results systematically, the first one is record observes starting with the infant general condition, like vital signs such as temperature, respiratory rate, oxygen saturation, and finding from physical examination of the lungs. The second one is input the exact time of the examination to monitor the development of the condition. And the third is the location of the finding is very important in determining the area of the lung affected by infection. So for the conclusion is the importance of physical examination in fact the bronchopneumonia. Although a physical assessment is very important for early detection of the signs of bronchopneumonia and monitoring of response for the therapy. This help prevent serious complication and guidance and the provision to authorize the treatment. And the role of nurses in early detection of change the infant's condition. The first one is nurses should conduct regular evaluation and record any change in vital signs and respiratory systems. And early detection facilitates rapid intervention, thereby inverting the prognosis for infant the bronchopneumonia.